David, team news first. Pondering any changes for Tuesday?
Well, we'll have a look at a few things today, and I'll see. Might make a few changes. I'll wait and see how the players are. And we've had a long trip on Saturday, and there's a couple of people nursing a couple of wee niggles, so we'll wait and see how they are today after training.
People might look at the FA Cup and say, well, it's a distraction you could do without, but how much has it actually helped you to get where you are now?
Yeah, I think we just try and play as many games. I think it's always a positive thing when you're still in the cup, and we'll treat it with respect because it's the FA Cup. We want to do well. We've got a tie against Middlesbrough for the winner, and it's a great incentive for the players, and it's a game that I think everybody at the club's looking forward to tomorrow night.
How much of a carrot is that Middlesbrough tie?
Yeah, I don't worry about the Middlesbrough tie yet. I just worry about a game of football against Peterborough tomorrow night. It's going to be a very tough game. They're a good side, a lot of attacking flair, and this is best team tomorrow night will go through and win, but it's a chance for the players to go and play against a very good Championship, Premier League club, but Championship side just now.
What was the main lesson you took away from the game at Peterborough?
Yeah, I think we knew that their attacking strengths. They're well organised. They've got a lot of good players, and as I say, the players need to be switched on. And as I say, when we play against sides maybe higher up the league, it's something we do relatively well. And as I say, it's a game we're looking forward to. I think the players are looking forward to it, and it's nice to be back at Valley Parade. It's not been there for a while.
I think you've got 4 games over the next 6 as well. I mean, the home fans can play a massive part, can't they, over the next month or so?
Yeah, of course. Even the fans who do travel away give us great backing too. But the last game at Oxford was fantastic, and as I keep saying, these are things that the fans coming back now and keep pushing us and gives the players that extra 10-15% in games. So players like playing in front of it, and as when they get behind it, it's a fantastic atmosphere to play football in.
David Ball's just said that team spirit's probably as high as it's been here this year. Do you sense that as well?
Yeah, I think results are dictating that. I think players are starting to gel together. I think last week they had their Christmas weekend away, which always adds. I think it's the first time they've probably been out together, and I can sense that bit of togetherness when they've come back this week. So as I said, it's one of these things now that we just keep pushing forward. I think players are starting to believe in themselves now, and they're starting to see that we're starting to mould a team now, and just need to start the silly mistakes we're making that's costing us in games, but everything else is going fine.
What does the FA Cup mean to you in this day and age?
I think it means a lot to anybody. As I say, there's a player as part of the squad that got 1994 against Man United, even though I didn't play in it. I didn't get a bound because of the 3 foreigner rule, because I was Scottish. I missed out. But no, it's a fantastic occasion. I played in games right up till I think quarter-finals, so it was a fantastic occasion. And I think any occasion when you get to Wembley, you get as far as you can. But the cup games are all about one-off games. You forget about league positions, and it's about who's going to be bravest tonight and who's going to take chances. And I say there's always going to be a hero in one of the games.
What's going to be the key to beating them on Tuesday?
I just think we have to make sure that we make sure we try and nullify their attacking threat. That's the biggest thing they have. And then, as I said, we have players now who are confident. We've got players who can hurt teams now, and we've got players who can attack. And these things are going to be crucial because we don't want to leave ourselves open. But as you say, it's a cup tie. It's a one-off. And I think you've seen the last game we went there, we were 2-0 down, and we went for it and we got back to 2-8. So hopefully fans tomorrow night will get behind us and make it an exciting game.
When you have a match like this that has to end on the night, do you practice penalties, or is that just something that you trust the players?
No, I just trust the players. I just think now I don't want to go to penalties. I think Steve will be the same. I think if we try to win a game in 90 minutes and it went extra time, then I think you've got to be brave. It's a cup tie, and I think these things are whoever's going to be bravest tomorrow night and go and try and win a game when maybe the game could be a tight affair. So these are things now as a manager now, you've got to make sure that the players believe that they're going to go and try and get through and win a game.
So about the togetherness, David, I mean, obviously going on that weekend away last week, I mean, I think there's about 20 new signings during the summer, weren't there? And I think sometimes it's difficult, isn't it, when you almost throw all these people in together to sort of become a unit?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think the club had a plan this summer, what they wanted to try and do. It's always if it works, it's like genius. If it doesn't work, then you end up where we are in the league. And the boys haven't really gelled. They haven't had anything, any night outs or golf days or anything. So I've been here, so I thought it was important that every club will tell you that the Christmas night out is a night where players usually go and have a few beers and they get to know each other. So it was important that I done it early. I told them they wanted to do one. It was to be done at the beginning of December because I didn't want to get into. Most clubs will go 18th, 19th December and you get 5 or 6 really important games. So they've done it. I can sense a.
You can feel it.
I can feel it. Yeah. People go out and maybe people who didn't speak to each other and they have a laugh and a joke, and as I said, they come back and they're all bouncing, and Tuesday they come back into training, and obviously it's carried on. And I could, even coming back the bus from Plymouth, you're starting to see a lot of people speaking to each other. Maybe we never spoke. Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, you can't force that, and it has to sort of create itself, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, of course it is. I think any club I've ever been at and managed, that's the things that happens. I think they go out and then, as you said, you'll get maybe 2 or 3 people who haven't spoken to each other, end up become friends, and then some of them you wouldn't put anybody together. So it's in that sense it's good. But as I said, now it's done, and I can sense that they're starting to have a bond together.
In terms of the game itself, do you think you got under Peterborough's skin a little bit? I mean,
yeah.
Post-match reaction.
I don't think I'm the only one. Do you know what I mean? So no, as I say, it's like Steve and his assistant. They're passionate. They want to win games. They're doing to win games. Sometimes a lot of coaching staff will laugh and joke, but he's like a pantomime villain. So Steve, you either love him or hate him, and I've got a lot of respect for him. I like the way he goes, but sometimes he does take things to edge. Do you know what I mean? And you don't become successful with being a nice manager, doing things. But he's always had good teams. They're fit, they're organised, and they always get a danger of scoring goals. So twice we've played them. I've changed the system twice to try and accommodate them, and both times we've managed to get a point. But you see, it's a cup game, and I think they might come and they'll have a go to try and make sure they try and get through.